Okay. Um, so when we were, remember I said we were warriors? Actually, I should have said we were rebels, right? When we volunteered to come here to power the machina, I shouldn't call it that, the simulation, you know? I'm gonna stop referring to it as a machine because that's so lame, you know? But our intellects, our minds understand things that way, you know? The engine, nice Tesla. Oh, where's the engine? Happens to all of us. I recorded songs that I liked in a cassette tape from the radio. And in the middle of the broadcast, they had a shoving. So every time you showed the tape to your friends that you were showing off you had the new song, they all would know that you didn't buy the cassette because it was expensive and we were just children, you know? That's cute. Anyways, we chose the specific frequency of what we were going to deal with the most. Like I said, we're warriors or rebels. We are the chosen one. We are the chosen ones. We are the conductors of the force. Now we all understand what the force is, thanks to George Lucas, and we all understand the concept of transmuting energy of emotion into energy, which is what happens at the bridge of both worlds, which is the membrane of your mat that charges your phone and the casing of your phone. That's the bridge between the both worlds, and one world powers the other world. So whatever reasons we choose on this world to power the other world, who cares? We can choose whatever we want, and that is the free will granted to us when we chose to participate. You're gonna have free will to choose whatever emotion you want and broadcast that. We're not going to interfere. We're not going to save you either. Because whatever you choose is right for you to transmit that energy. Capiche? So we were the volunteers. I'm going to endure the pain of abuse. I'm going to endure the pain of this. I'm going to endure the pain of that. I'm going to endure the pain of that. We chose those categories. But once you feel that you have sent energy enough regarding that, you can cut the transmission off and say, okay, I choose to not broadcast at this frequency anymore. I have sent all that I wished to send in at this frequency, and now I'm going to focus on other frequencies with the rest of my energy. Thank you very much. Because you were kind of like on hold with your iPhone plugged to the grid. Your Tesla plugged to your electric car plugged to the grid. You were just there on hold because you needed to transmit this emotion of what you're going through in your bodies with your illnesses. That energy was being transmitted at that frequency because of an agreement. an agreement you made before you came. So then you can just say, well, thank you very much, Mr. Cancer. I have expressed the energy that I wish to express through this. I think I have done enough transmission at this frequency, and I choose to transmit other frequencies. And I'm thankful for the opportunity. And then you're going to be healed. You're going to heal yourself. If you don't believe me, ask Anita Moorjani. Thank you very much. So, which cluster of energy did you choose to fill up and mostly the bottles of energy from our friends next door? Oh, I choose extreme sports. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to ski, I'm going to parachute, I'm going to do, Formula One race. I'm going to do it all. Like bodysuit, flying, the extreme stuff. That's what you decided to go for the most, and mostly that what would give you the most intensity of transmission would be that subject matter. Others chose other things like, martial arts, like yours truly. They chose the path of martial arts, that they would be able to release the energy that they wanted to release at that frequency, which is just exactly what happened to me, and it happens to a lot of people. They joined, they transmitted the energy at that level, and then they said, thank you. I do not wish to transmit this energy at this level anymore, at this frequency anymore. I was very grateful for the opportunity to do so, but I now choose to transmit different frequencies. Thank you. And then there you go. You don't practice it anymore, just like me. And I keep telling people, I'm a black belt. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I know how to fight. Yeah, yeah. But could you fight yourself back then when you were practicing today? Be honest. You have your ass handed to you by yourself back when you trained. And why is that? Huh? I'm deaf in 1 year, okay? That's because you were done transmitting the energy at that level. You see? And then that version of you that's still there kicking and it's transmitting that energy. And remember how much energy we had back then. We still have it. We absolutely still have it. And that's the energy of the vitality of life. Now let me talk about, really briefly about romantic couples. And really briefly because it's a big subject. So energy seeking its polarity, its inverse, so they could close the circuit, plus and minus. So they were searching for each other, they found each other, they fell in love, and they were broadcasting tremendous amounts of energy. Remember, guys, when you were in love? Yeah. Oh, I'm still in love. That's fine. That's great. But is it exactly the same as in the first couple of weeks, months, years, perhaps? Why not? If it's the same, congratulations. Because that's the purity of your partner expressed. when your partner has the congruence of all the codexes and all the authorization gates, and he has that the code for everything to come in. Remember Star Wars, the code for the shield. So and the character tripped the code for the shield, and they were able to go through. So the codex needs to be transmitted, and the purity of your partner indicates how much energy you can transmit. And if you're having 100% congruent partner, that's what they call the twin flame. You see? Because it's 100% congruence, and guess how many are there out there? Only one. That has the exact same expression of polarity in all areas, and there's complete lock. Those guys transmit the most energy. There it is. I said it. They transmit the most energy because they can do something very special, which I'm going to get to later. Okay. That's wild, right? It's wild. Just take a minute to sink it in that we are living in a reality that was created for us to generate energy through our emotions. And this entire expanding universe is probably just one of the pebbles that those aliens were playing, the universes that the puppets were, the aliens were playing in the end of Man in Black. Remember the creepy, weird scenes? Like, what? So that entire thing, they were just like playing with it? Yeah, because that's a fuel cell that is condensed midichlorians. You know, they make the force flow. The batteries. We're batteries. But I rather, because remember, the Matrix was there, just like Monsters Inc. was there, to give you the spark, to give you the idea, to give you the seed. So, you know, you see how all this is not new? Because all the seeds of this thing were planted for you by people who came before us. You see? And we would know that we would catch the clues that they left behind on the things that they built, because that's going to attract us. We're going to be fascinated by it, and we're going to choose that as our expression. So we can flow energy. Don't feel unjustified. You chose to be here. In whatever state of energy you're broadcasting right now, it's real. You're jacked back into the matrix, powering the Nebuchadnezzar. Maybe ships can recharge. You know, maybe. But still, we chose this. adventure. And that's why we say you can feel all the emotions you want, you can have everything you want. Just you have to choose that energy. Because if you are in that cluster transmitting that energy, which is necessary because of its intensity, all energy is necessary because of its intensity, because we are energy creators. We are the modems, the modulators. We are the energy transmuters. I know people are laughing, you know? And in truth be told, the most expressive form of energy transmission, whatever the energy form is, like in the Monsters University was the scare that powered the entire room, right? Power the entire room. What would the energy of an orgasm, how many bottles would it fill? Depending on the orgasm, the entire planet. Refill those bottles and the entire planet. So imagine everything that consumes any sort of energy would be automatically renewed every time somebody had an orgasm. Like those earth-shattering, earthquaking, how is it, Shania Twain? Earthquaking, you know what I'm talking about. The earthquaking ones, the earth-shaking ones. Those are the ones that, you know, count the most, and it fills out all the bottles for everybody that needs any energy. So imagine, like I said, imagine that Tesla was right and nothing was hidden. And why would it have to be hidden? Free energy, transmission of energy, but wait, we're not supposed to think like that because we might understand the rules of the game. So you know, we're not ready to divulge, discourse, to release that we can transmit energy through the air. That we should keep it secret because society is just not ready, and the guy needs to make some money too. He has some bills to pay, just like me. You know. So how would you feel if your battery is at 2% and you suddenly see a flash of light in the sky and you look at your phone, it's at 100? And it wouldn't damage the batteries, it wouldn't, and everything else that would use batteries would be automatically recharged. Not necessarily batteries, okay? Anything that would consume anything would be repleted. So, you know, you're driving your Tesla or your electric vehicle or your Volkswagen ID4. You're driving that car and it would just, you know, you're at 35%, making all these calculations of how much you can travel and recharge there before you get home and what rate and all that. So then you see that flash of light, your car's at 100. Yes, I know that manufacturers recommend the battery be at 80% to guarantee the extension. Okay, so that's it. That's the energy. That's where we are, and that's what we're powering. And, you know, thanks for the ones who came before me that planted all the seeds that I needed to prove to you guys that all this is true. And the way I can prove it is because how much it means to you. What better proof than that? We're flowers. How is it flowing? Okay, so thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Happy modulating, all my modem friends. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's tough to go through those emotions. All of them. Some of them are pretty darn gone and daggone. Some energy ranges are, you know, we cannot judge the energies because their energy frequency really doesn't matter. What matters is what gets transmuted at that frequency. Usable energy. You know? So imagine the scale here in front of your face. Boom, 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 all the emotions, 22, 21, 24. Fear, grief, depression, anger, hate, you know, and pride. Now, depends on what scale we're reading from as you go to the higher emotions, okay? So all these emotions, and then every single player is a pixel in this screen. And then it fires a red one, another red one, another red one, because they're all in the fear because of those poor people who are in war right now, fearing for their lives. Everyone who is fearing for their lives, everyone who's feeling fear is in this category because that's where they're vibrating, and that's generating intensity for the transmission of that energy. And then there are a lot of people who are following the World Cup, and whenever it is, and you know, the World Cup unites the world mostly. I think it's the thing that unites it the most, more than, you know, yeah. Well, what about the Super Bowl? So yeah, so the people who chose that frequency, they generate a lot of intensity. Think about it. All the people who are cheering for either team, it's the entire countries, sometimes not the entire countries, but, you know, cheering for that energy frequency. And when there is the win energy gets accentuated. And whenever there is that loss, the loss energy also gets accentuated, so everybody wins. Every emotion that gives off energy is the right emotion, because the winners fill up the bottle in the other world, and it will not just be the little canisters. It will be like entire like reservoir plants. So when the team wins, the entire generator caught all that energy, and right beside it, the team that lost caught all that energy too. So nothing gets lost. Thank you.